Hey y'all, so in today's video, we're gonna be talking about part 2 of first-time home buyer advice. This is information that you definitely don't wanna miss, so we'll talk to you and see you inside. Welcome back y'all, and if this is the first time to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you can be notified about everything that's happening here in the Central Texas market. Again, my name is Jacob Martinez and I'm with the Living in Central Texas channel, and today we're going to be talking about part 2 of advice for first-time home buyers. If you haven't seen the first part, make sure you see it and then come back to this one, okay? So number 6, do not rush the process, okay? Many times when people are buying a home, this is a big decision, right? So they finally made it throughout so many years, however long it took them, they're finally buying their home and now they want things to go along quick, right? So when buying a home is a big decision and it can take time to find the right one. Buyers should feel comfortable walking away from a property if it doesn't meet their needs or it just feels wrong for them, right? So you want to make sure that once you're buying a home, yes, it may not be your forever home, but you also want to move into a house that you feel good in, right? That meets your needs, that has enough room for you, for the kids, or for your mom, or for your parents, or any other family member that's staying with you guys, right? So don't rush the process. Once you get that pre-approval, go out there, go with your agent, try to look at the properties. You know, you're going to give them the criteria, what you're looking for, how many bedrooms, bathrooms, square footage, what neighborhoods you're interested in, right? So your agent's going to be able to little by little funnel all the properties and say, all right, look at these properties right here. We got them. And so go out there, look at the properties, and if they feel right, pull the trigger. If they don't rush the process and feel like you're obligated into getting into that home. So just tell your agent, hey, we saw these houses, but none of them are to our liking. Do you have any others to look at, right? So make sure that you don't rush it, because once you sign on that dotted line on the closing table, you are now responsible to make payments on that home, okay? So make sure it's to your liking, okay? Number 7, this is very important, guys. You always want to get a home inspection. Reason is because a home inspector is going to see what you don't. He or she is trained for this. They have a license with the state that they're in, right? They're part of other associations to make sure that they keep up with their licensing, just like we have to as agents, right? And so they're experts at what they do. So what they're going to see are things that we, as your regular common folk, right, that do not do home inspections, are going to overlook. So they're going to go up in the attic. They're going to take pictures. They're going to make sure that everything's okay. They're going to go underneath the house if it's up here and being home. They're going to look at the foundation. They're going to look at the roof. They're going to look at the electrical, at the plumbing, at all these things. And the reason why it's important is because you want to make sure that the house that you're buying is going to be a house that you are going to be glad to move in, and not a house that you want to make repairs to unless you're a handyman, right? And you know what you're doing and you're looking for a bargain. But besides that, the average person or the average family does not want to move into a home to then have a job after their job fixing the property, okay? So a home inspection ensures that there are no hidden issues with the property. It can uncover costly repairs or problems that need to be addressed before closing. So once the inspector gets in there, he's gonna give you a whole report and say, you know, these little things, that's minor, but these are the big ticket items that I would suggest for you to negotiate. And then you bring that to your agent, and then your agent is able to negotiate that with the seller, okay? So always make sure that you get a home inspection, so that way you can feel secure that the house that you're buying doesn't come with any oops or any surprises after you sign, okay? Number 8 is very important. Understanding the offer and closing process, okay? Now, this is where it's very crucial, because I did a series about first-time home buyer fears. You should go and see that series after this video, where it explains to you the fears that a lot of home buyers have And it's exactly this. How is the process? I've never bought a home. What do I have to do? Right? Hold my hand, guide me, show me, right? You're gonna have great agents that are gonna explain to you every detail from A to Z to make you feel comfortable. And then you're gonna have other agents, due to their character, that they might give you just, basic points, and you might not feel as comfortable. But always hire an agent that you may want to deal with, right? So the steps after an offer is made can be confusing. From contingencies to the final walkthrough, helping first-time homebuyers understand what to expect at each stage is crucial. So like I said, when first-time homebuyers come, they're like, where do I start? Okay. Then your agent is going to sit down with you and give you, this is step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. And what happens after I go under contract? What are the next steps? When do I sign at closing? What is required for me to do while I'm under contract to make sure that my purchasing is satisfactory, etc., etc. Right? So these are things that you have to address and talk with your agent to make sure that you are feeling secure in the process during the offer and also at closing. Because the whole point, guys, if you're looking for a home, is for you to be able to sign on that dotted line where it says that John Doe or Jane Doe is now the new homeowner of the home. Okay? Another advice that I would suggest for you guys is plan for the future. A first home is often not the forever home. This is very true. Sometimes first-time homebuyers get very picky because, sometimes they want to go over their budget because what they see within their budget is not what it's actually what they're looking for. But you have to remember, a lot of times your first home is not your forever home, right? So buyers should consider how long they plan to stay in the property. And if it suits their long-term needs, whether they plan to have a family or if they may need to sell in a few years, that's also something to take into consideration. So yes, it happens where people buy their home and they're there for 10, 15, 20, 30 years. But then there are others, because we live in a military town, that they come in and they go out. Every 2 to 3 years, they're PCSing in and PCSing out. So you have to remember, when you're buying a home for the very first time, you want to make sure that you're buying a house that, yes, it might not be what you're looking for at the moment, but eventually you can turn around and sell it or keep it as a rental and then purchase your forever home, right? That's usually the main step. So remember, guys, plan for the future when looking at property. Okay, number 10, or the last point, would be stay calm during negotiations. This is another advice, okay? When first-time home buyers may feel emotionally invested, but it's important to stay level-headed during negotiations. And the person that's going to have your back during these negotiations is going to be your realtor, okay? Your realtor is the one that's going to say, hey guys, take it easy, don't stress, don't be anxious, because I get, as of the making of this video, I'm working with about 4 couples right now that are first-time home buyers. And they're very antsy. They can't sleep at night. They're stressed. They wake up at 2 in the morning, staring at the ceiling from their bed, right? Thinking, oh my God, is this gonna happen? Is it not gonna happen? What are we gonna do? And these first-time home buyers range from young couples in their early 20s to couples in their mid 40s, 50s, right? So you could be a first-time home buyer. It doesn't matter the age. But when you're buying a home, it can be stressful. It can be emotionally draining. It can be a roller coaster of emotions, because at one point in your journey, you may be up here at a super high, and then all of a sudden you're dropping at a low, and then you're coming back up, coming back down, right? All I'm going to tell you is stay calm. And when it comes to the negotiations, especially, what's going to happen is that your agent is going to walk you through the process and the paperwork. Okay, guys, we need this. We spoke to the lender. This is how much we need. This is how much we're gonna get from them. Hopefully, let's negotiate. But if we want this, we need to change that or put this here. Always, as a first-time home buyer, let yourself be guided by the expert, right? You want to listen to your mom, you want to listen to your father, your uncle, or your friend, or a family member, or your boss, or whatever. And sure, they do have the best intentions for you. I get that. But the expert, the person that is licensed, is the one that has your back. Listen to him, listen to her, and hopefully you guys will be able to finally get that little piece of American, the American dream, which is to have your own little property where you can maybe buy your home and in the future move on with a better home if that is, right, your decision. So again, thank you for watching First Time Home Buyers. Advice for you guys, part 2. Remember, look at part 1. Also, we have the series about first-time home buyer fears, which will go more in depth into this process. So if you have any questions or any comments, write them down below. The good, the bad, the ugly, doesn't matter. Also, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And if you want to talk, send us a text, send us an email. But most importantly, we have a Zoom link below where you can click on. We'll set up an appointment and talk to you from anywhere that you are in the world at any time. So again, thanks for watching and talk to y'all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.